Hey, it's Greg and Jared with Otis Technology. We're back here in the studio to discuss, you buy a firearm, what are you going to buy next?
And usually you have to leave the store with a lot more than just that firearm, and it's an expense that some people don't anticipate when they go to buy their first gun. They think they're going to walk in, get the gun and walk out, which you could do,
Yeah.
but then you're missing some valuable pieces that actually make the gun function and make your firearms experience actually enjoyable.
So this is just kind of a fun video we're doing. We both made some notes on what we think the top 5 items you need. Jared, what's your first item?
My first item is ammunition. I mean, you can't leave the store.
You know, I didn't even put that on the list.
I'm glad you weren't cheating off my homework here. But yeah, ammo. Yeah, I mean, you cannot use the gun if it's your first firearm ever without the ammunition. So there's a few other valuable pieces that we're going to cover here, and I think some of them will maybe surprise you.
Yeah.
And some of them we're going to miss. So comment below if you want some honorable mentions added to our top 5. What you got next on the list there, Greg?
So I'm thinking more of, I have all that stuff. I buy a new firearm that I'm going to use extensively. My first thing was extra mags.
I actually have that on the list, on my list too, because most firearm manufacturers do only include one mag. Recently I got a Glock that had 3, which I was delighted.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. And I got a Ross Martin recently, and that had 2 in there, which is still better than the 1.
Correct.
But if you're going to be using this for self-defense, if you're using this in the range, nothing sucks more than loading the magazine.
Yes, especially if you have 1 or 2 and you're constantly going back to the bench to reload. If you got 5 or 6 with you, it's easier to keep practicing.
Yep.
Or if you buy a firearm model that has, the mags are interchangeable between them all, that's nice as well. So then you give up with more. What's in your number 2?
Number 2. I have on there safe storage because I have kids. I live in the state of New York. We're required to have safe storage if you have anybody under that age of 18, where we used to grow up in a community that you could leave your firearm on your bedside unattended, and it wasn't considered a bad thing. But now, I mean, if you have a roommate or visitors that you don't know or trust very well, you're going to want to keep that thing locked anytime it's not in your possession. Did it even make your list?
They did not make my list. Because
They do come with a gun lock, but they can still walk away with a gun lock.
Correct. And again, that's also because, I do have a big safe at the house that all my stuff's in, so I don't think of it that way.
Yeah, I was thinking of it more for the new guy.
Yeah, maybe a new gunner. Yep, I agree. You talk about that with leaving guns. If you go back, take a snapshot of our childhood, and you went to like school and you went to the back row, and it was all pickup trucks with nothing but guns stacked in the windows.
Oh, yeah.
Windows down, doors unlocked. Not a question. Mm-hmm. Times have changed. So next on my list, I put down for purchasing a pistol or rifle is an optic.
Yep, absolutely. It's not a necessity on every gun, but man, it makes shooting a lot easier.
It does. And the older we get, our eyes start to go.
Yeah, mine are starting to get there. But yeah, I actually had optics on my mental list and it didn't make my paper list, and I don't know why that is. So I didn't even have that on mine. I have on here for a holster, but in like the case of a rifle, maybe a gun case. So
or a sling, maybe
something to, even a sling. We get categorize all those together. Maybe like the storage and transportation of the firearm. But speaking of holsters, depending on the use case, specifically even females, they like a lot of off-body carry options, like a holster that's meant for the purse. Yeah. You want your trigger protected so that if you carry it around in the chamber, which you should, it's almost impossible to be able to rack one in and survive any kind of attack.
Yeah.
So you're thinking like, do I want inside the waistband, outside the waistband, pocket carry, off-body carry? There's a lot of options, and holsters, if it's handgun, should be on your list. Rifle case should be on your list if you've purchased a rifle, and a sling if it's that type of rifle.
Yeah. The other thing I have on my list are like training tools.
It actually was on my mental list again, and it was more like paying for specific training for me.
Yep.
You mentioned training tools. You like thinking like snap caps?
I'm thinking like snap caps or like a laser trainer or something. So you use trigger control or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So you can practice with that gun, because what use is a firearm if you don't practice with it?
Yeah, and a lot of folks can't get the range, and ammo is expensive. So snap caps are a great training tool. They allow you to dry fire train, ejection train, mag change train in your home in a safe situation without having live ammo present. So yeah, snap caps are a great one.
And also, if you're going to the range and you have live ammo, mix in every third, fourth round with a snap cap, and then you get used to a malfunction.
Yes, so you need your malfunction training when you're at the range for actual live training.
What else you got on your list?
I like the training one.
The training one?
Yeah, and if you are new to gun owning, which is my angle on this, you do want to pay for additional training. The worst thing you could do, not the worst thing, but not the best idea, just to go out and self-train. You can learn a lot off YouTube, but you're best off getting professional training so that you are better equipped to operate your firearm in the best way possible. Next on my list was a cleaning kit, and we happen to work for a gun cleaning company, but it is an important part of gun ownership. And cleaning kits typically are going to have your lubricant in them and everything that you need to maintain your gun. So cover a lot of bases with that. And some of our larger kits, like if I were to get the Elite pistol, for example, that's got your gun mat in it. That has everything to maintain multiple firearms. So I could, in my top 5, I could get 6 or 7 things in there just from that one kit.
I mean, there's no joke. Firearms are an expensive investment. And the last thing you want to do is, pull one out of your safe you just jumped a couple $1,000s on, and it's all rusty and, or you need to use the firearm and it doesn't go bang.
Yeah. So gun cleaning, super important, a little self-serving for us, but you're protecting a huge investment, and that investment protects you and your family.
Correct.
So
the other simple things, you got to protect your eyes and you got to protect your ears.
I actually forgot eye pro on my list.
Eye pro?
But I have sunglasses.
Same. But so eye pro and ear pro obviously protect your eyes, and then obviously you want to protect your ears. Don't be tough and say, oh, it's not that loud, because I did that for many years, and now I'm,
I learned that pretty quick because my dad did but he ran a chainsaw his whole life, so I didn't want to be deaf to.
And not to make this about Otis, but Otis offers an extensive line of hearing protection from our Scout line, which is our more inexpensive line, super comfortable, easy to wear. And then we have our ear muffs in our ear shield line. Maybe Jared could talk a little bit more about what we offer with those.
On our ear shield line, we have our passives, which are the least expensive, non-electronic, standard hearing protection. Those are actually great for things like bringing your kids to Monster Jam, affordable hearing protection. And then we also have Electronic Pro, which have our gel cups, and we have Bluetooth models of hearing protection. But yes, super important to protect your hearing. It's something you can't get back. So definitely you want to protect your hearing. And if you have never shot a gun without hearing protection, I don't recommend you try it.
You won't forget them again.
Yeah, that ring is unforgettable.
So we've covered quite a few different accessories. Obviously the ammunition is very important. But if you could just get 3 items, imagine if somebody made a SKU that had 3 items that were just have-to-haves.
You know what? That could have cut our list down quick.
And it was just an easy button for the guy behind the gun counter to say, hey, start with this.
So we have the Otis shooting bundle. Makes it really easy for you to pick up all those things you need for the first gun that you buy. It has the ear shield passes in it. It has the Otis tactical cleaning kit in it. It has targets, a gun mat, and eye protection. So we could have shortened up both of our lists considerably just by adding this item as one of our top 5.
Yeah.
All these products will be linked in the description below, so check that out.
So this is also a great gift idea for Christmas or Father's Day or Mother's Day. For the gun owner, you're not sure what they need, or they're not sure what they need. This can be purchased, at your local gun shop.
And if you can't find this at your local gun shop, you can find it at otistech.com.
So we went through our list, and we're kind of wrapping things up right now. Jared, was there any other second thoughts, or was there anything else you had on your list?
No, I didn't actually have anything in the honorable mentions on my list. So if you have any, leave them in the comments below. Did you have anything else on that list there?
The only thing I could say is when you buy a firearm like that, depending on what you're using it for, just practice, practice, practice.
Thank you for watching this video on the top 5 things you need to purchase after you've purchased a gun. Add yours to the comments below. If you found this video useful, helpful, or interesting, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe.